I was having a discussion online in one of those internet forums about what is bliss. And a woman named Debbie mentioned that she thought it was different things for different people. Like, she lived in the country and that was her bliss, while someone else from the city might find living in the country to be hell. What with the dirty roads and the critters and so forth. So I said to Debbie, it's funny you should mention a thing about the country and the city, and the car getting dirty. I sent out an email last night to a couple of friends and mentioned that I just washed and vacuumed the car and finally gotten all the pollen off, only to have it redust the car within minutes of parking it in the gravel drive. But I contrasted that to having the car covered with city soot and being washed with acid rain. I like both, city and country. It's heaven to wake up to the sound of morning doves and a gentle breeze. It's also heaven to feel the pulse of the city and the incredible energy of it, the diversity of the people, the conglomeration of culture, blending, ever-changing. In its way, a reflection of nature, which also is always blending and ever-changing. I have a friend, a black drag queen by the name of Isha, a person who, without fail, always makes me laugh. And while she does a great impersonation of Diana Ross, she also spends time in total silence, meditating. Isha is multifaceted, to say the least. And when discussing things such as what is bliss, her response is, "Whatever blows your hair back, Miss Thing." I think Isha is onto something there. Others replied, offering their different perspectives on what bliss might be, which stimulated further response from me. Yes, it's wonderful to see the diversity of experience expressed. It's a garden from my perspective. In parts of the garden there's more light, almost glaring at times, and less shadow, sort of like a desert without a tree canopy, a place where cacti grow with sharp spikes, but also stunning flowers once a year. Other parts of the garden have a bit more shade and sometimes cloud cover with rain, which permit the human plant to be a bit more leafy and expansive, and covered with blooms for a longer period of time, perhaps even waves of blooms. And in yet another corner there is just dappled light where ferns grow, soft, delicate, and primal. In the desert part of the human garden, lizards are common, snakes abound, scorpions also share the relentless light. There is one form of bliss. In the field part of the human garden, rabbits proliferate, groundhogs are plentiful, butterflies flit from bloom to bloom. That is another form of bliss. In the forest part of the human garden, deer forage in the shade, foxes frolic among the ferns, hummingbirds sip from the necks of woodland blooms. That is yet another form of bliss. And then there is the night which befalls all the garden, and the bliss of that, the owls and coyotes and night crawlers, the nighthawk and nightingale, the salamanders. The garden is never the same. It has many parts and many forms. And even within those parts there is diversity. There is adaptation and evolution, as life forms itself around the ever-changing conditions of environment. It's all beautiful in its own way, as I see it, and I also observe that it cannot be seen at all if one so chooses. It can also be seen as hell, as loveless and chaotic. But that particular view doesn't blow my hair back.